Hi, you guys. How are you? It's been a minute. I know, and I am so sorry that I've taken this long. Mko aje, mko salama? How is your week coming along? I hope that you are good. I hope that you're keeping up well, and I hope that you guys are safe because amidst this particular moment of maandamano, anti-government protest, a lot could happen, and I'm hoping that everyone is safe wherever you are. Okay. So let me start off by saying that I'm really sorry that I've not been able to bring you content for the last 2 weeks. Of course, a lot has been happening, been unwell, and so I was not able to shoot content for you people. But thank you so much for 141 subscribers that we have right now. Asanteni sana. If you're new here, I would please wow. I'll please request you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So All for Single Parents is a channel that brings you content on single parenthood for both mothers and single fathers. So, as you are aware from the previous few videos, we've not been able to get some time with single fathers. And so I do not really... I don't know, like we have a conversation with someone, we initiate the talk, and they are willing to come up here and have that discussion with us. But when it's the time, wakati ukifika, they just chicken out and they are no longer willing to talk about it. And it is quite understandable because, not everyone is comfortable talking about how their journey has been as a single parent. However, I'm really hoping that the children that they are raising are okay, safe, and they are being brought up, in a way that is gonna make them, how am I going to say it, proud. They're going to make them persons of substance in this particular community. However, if I am so sure we have single fathers out there. If you're a single father and you'd like to come up here and have these talks with us, you can share an email to allforsingleparents@gmail.com. I am going to put it down there so that you're able to see, so that you can get the email address, and please talk to us. We are going to schedule you. You come, we have these talks with you. Now, as one of the things that we have already identified is that single parenthood. But wait, I've introduced myself. My name is Elizabeth Ndanu. I believe that for my 141 subscribers who are coming back here, they know me. They've already interacted with me. However, if you are new, please subscribe, like, share with your friends. If you are a single parent also, please subscribe to this particular content, and I am going to appreciate. My name is Elizabeth Ndanu, and welcome to our today's video. Now, today, as we've already established so far, is that single parenthood is not easy. It's fun, like we enjoy. It's one of the things that gives you fulfillment. You realize that, there are things that you could do right as a person, because being able to raise a human being and seeing them grow to a successful person makes you proud. All right, and as much as it also makes us proud and makes us happy, there are some things that we need to learn to be able to be successful. Like I'm majorly talking to single mothers here because I can easily relate with single mothers as a single mom. So there are things that sometimes you might feel like unafika mwisho, you're like, now I feel, and it's okay, sometimes you might feel like you're not doing it all, and it's okay because no one is 100%. But there are some few steps that I would like us to discuss today on how to stay a motivated single mother, because then that is how you're going to be successful at it. So we are going to be having this discussion on some of the few tips that I believe have worked for me. Not I believe, some of the tips that have worked for me and I believe could also work for you. All right. So stay tuned. We are going to be having 10 tips. 11. And I'm saying 10 because the 10th one is my favorite one. So stay tuned so that you can be able to understand these particular tips. All right. Okay. Don't mind this yellow. I'm a Kamba babe, and we love yellow, as you all know, and it actually happens to be my favorite color. Anywho, so as a single mom, tip number 1, you would really want not to be hard on yourself. All right, so there are things that, of course, you will not be at 100%, you will not perform 100%. If you start comparing yourself with someone else who is, doing it, and you feel that you're doing it better, then you're going to be really hard on yourself, and you really do not want to be that kind of a person, because you want to make sure that you are motivated, you're happy, you understand yourself, you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, and you have that particular self-awareness to be able to know that, like, this is okay for me to do, but this one is something that I can't do. Okay, let me just give an example. So, like, say your friend's kids are going for a vacation, all right? So say they're going for a vacation in Zanzibar, okay? And you know very well that, you know, at that particular point in time, you're not able financially to take your kid out there. So you might end up making more, wrong decisions when you're being that kind of a person. You are so hard on yourself. You want to prove to your kid that, you know, I can take you to Zanzibar as well. So you can talk to them, you know, just advise them, have this conversation with them, and give them options. Or also promise them, when you have money, I am going to take you to this particular place that you really want. So for example, let me talk of my daughter. My daughter really loves to go to America. So she loves the snow, especially during Christmas period. Like every Christmas for the last 2 Christmas, I have had to promise her, when you're 10, I am going to be taking you to the US so that you can enjoy the snow and so that you can have fun. So I have the conversation with her, but I'm not really too hard, because I am pushing myself to work really hard and to get the money so that I'm able to do this for her. But I am not being really hard on myself. There is that particular feeling that it's gonna give you, and you don't want that. All right? Okay. So let's go to tip number 2. Tip number 2 is that you really need to get a support system. Okay? You need to get a support system, because of course there is absolutely no way that you're going to do everything by yourself. Like at some point you may need to get a house help, you may need to get you might need your parents' assistance. And I want, on this one, I want to say I am so thankful to my small sister who has been here for me. I know she has been supporting me in ways that I don't think there's any other person who can ever do that for me. And I am entirely thankful for her. Right? So as a single mother, you might really need to get a support system. This way you are able to go out of your way and do things that, like for instance, assuming that you're working and you are told to go on a business trip, outside the country. How are you going to manage that if you don't have someone who's supporting you? All right. Now, support system can be that person who is willing to at least give me the kids. I am going to stay with them, and I'm so sure you saw even our therapist comment this on our very first video. If you've not watched the video, then you can go back to our YouTube channel and you're going to see the video that we had with Ajit and Margaret. And one of the things that she mentioned is that you need to get a person that you can trust with your kids. Take them out so that you can also get some time for yourself. Go out, have fun, jump, do what makes you happy. All right, so it's really important to get that support system, to have someone that you can trust with your kids. It goes and it does wonders. Sawa. All right, so let's move on to tip number 3. Tip number 3 is that you need to ensure that you are learning something new every particular day, every time. Teach yourself a new skill. All right. This way, when you're engaging your mind and you're making sure that you are sharp at any given time, it makes you a better person. You perform better as a parent. You perform better as an employee or as an employer. You even perform better as a friend. All right. So, and if you are currently also dating, you become a better person to your person. So learn something new every particular moment. And when I say something new, I don't mean something out of this world. I'm talking of the silliest things. Teach yourself how to make a new recipe. Like if you are a person who loves cooking, then you can cook something new every week, every other week. Cook something new. Or if you're a person who does DIY, DIY is really important because, or rather, it's fun. I would say it's fun because it teaches you. It becomes a moment that you can bond with your kids. Like if you teach yourself how to make, hanging shelves with your kids, you can make them with them depending on their size and age. But majorly, what I mean here is that you really need to get something that you can engage your mind with. Like I remember sometimes back, one of the things that I did and I realized that I was having so much fun doing was painting. Okay, so I literally painted my entire house and I painted every other thing that was in the house. I know sometimes I was some of them I made a mess, but I realized that wait, it's my hobby. I love painting. Can I say I realized that, or I taught myself that? Um, but yeah, find something new. Find something new to learn every particular week. If you are a person who loves makeup, teach yourself how to do your eyebrows. If you're a person who loves, plants, uh, go learn how do you have which plants do better in the environment that you're staying in. Okay. All right, so that is it about teaching yourself new skills. But then also, tip number 4 is that you have got to think about your long-term goals at any particular moment. This one helps you stay in check. You are able to, plan your finances better. All right, so you are not going to be this person who bumps into a nice jacket and you're there buying, and yet you didn't even budget for that. Or how do you call this one? Thrift spender. If you just become a thrift spender, you are spending a lot of money on things that really are not that important and that are not how am I gonna put this? Like it's not urgent, it's not very important, it's something that can wait. Then you do not want to spend a lot of your money, yet you have some goals that you've already planned. So at any particular moment, you've got to think and realize that you have things that you are aspiring to achieve by the time you're like in the next 2 years. Okay, and that should remind you to save more and to avoid impulse buying at any given time. I have things that I have to do, and there is this particular lady who advised me, all right, and I actually reminded her the other day. She told me when I was separating with the father of my kid, I think it was in 2016. It was a very difficult moment, but this particular lady came and told me, if you'd like to be successful, all right, or if not even, like right now you actually don't have an option. You either become successful or become successful, all right, because now it's not just about you, there's a baby involved. And I remember what she told me is that now you've got to plan your life. All right, plan your life. Know what you want to achieve by the time you're 30. Know what you want to achieve by the time you're 28. And that way it will help you stay in check, and it will motivate you. Number one, it will motivate you to get up every particular morning to go and get yourself and secure that bag. And then also it is going to help you avoid spending a lot of money on unnecessary things. You're going to remember that I have this particular thing that I want to do at this particular point in time, and so you save more for that particular thing. All right. Yeah, so that is tip number 4. Tip number 5 is really, really important. Okay? Very, very important. And it is that you have got to congratulate yourself. Tap yourself on the back. When you do something and you feel like it's something that you have really achieved, sit down, look at yourself on the mirror and be like, Elizabeth, you've done well. Okay? And it's not wrong. This actually brings me to something that I was listening to yesterday about validation. Okay? So, most of the single parents, single mothers, I say that I'm going to talk more about single mothers because that's what I can relate with. Most of us find it really difficult to seek validation from others. All right. So up to yesterday, that is what I knew. At least I knew that I do not need a validation. there's no any particular point in time whereby my self-esteem is gonna be like lowered, and that I need someone to come and tell me, your self is, or rather to validate me. So up to yesterday, that is what I knew. But after listening to some conversation, I realized that it's not wrong to get some validation from the people around you and the people that you trust. It's really important for someone to tell you that, to validate you and remind you that there's a connection. And I'm saying this from a point of, if you are currently seeing someone. So if you're seeing someone, it's important to validate them every now and then, remind them of their worth. And that way they are able to remember the connection and feel the connection also. All right? Okay? But you have got to find a balance. Do not really want to be validated at any given time, because then again, it's gonna, that is going to affect you as a person, because you will not perform. You want someone to validate you. You want someone to give you a go ahead every time that you have to do something. No. Okay? Find a balance. Know who you should seek validation from and who not to. Sawa. We were talking about congratulating yourself. It is really important to feel like you have achieved when you have achieved. Do not shy away from, tapping yourself at the back. Most of us forget that, and we feel that there's a lot that you have to do at the same time. So unasahau, you forget that you're supposed to sit down, relax, and be like, get that, coffee, take that wine, and feel happy. Sawa. Yes. So let's go to point number 6. I really do not want this video to be really long. God. So, point number 6 is that you should ensure that you do not do anything just so that you can meet someone's expectation of you. All right? And this happens a lot when you now start dating again. When you start dating and you meet someone who is expecting you to live a kind of way of life, and yet it's not your thing. Okay? It's not your thing at all. I don't know which example I should give, but let's talk of even dress code. All right? So you are a person who is used to ragged jeans and, being casual. And all of a sudden, because you've met someone who is very official, they would like you to change that. Okay? It is going to affect into how you are going to relate with that person, because you're not going to be happy around them. You're not going to feel like there is any connection between the two of you, and that is how, in most cases, now people start drifting apart. Because if you are not happy with the way I am, then there are some other things that I'm not going to do just to make you happy. Like, I may not be the same warm person around you. I will change. And that comes actually automatically, subconsciously. You don't have to be very intentional about it. In most cases, it's just going to happen. You are going to find yourself not so happy, having not that connection as before. And it's because there's someone who is expecting you to live some kind of way. All right? So, I'm not telling anyone to be rude to their partner or to the people around them. But what I'm saying is that you have got to make your own rules based on your life, because you know how your the size of your bag. You know the things that are good for your baby. You know the things that are good for you. You know the things that are important to the people around you. And so when all of a sudden you get someone who's advising you otherwise, then really you do not have to compromise what you believe in. You do not have to compromise what you are sure is working for you just to meet someone's expectation. All right? Okay. Sawa. So let's go to point number 7. Point number 7 is that you've got to make sure that you have a schedule that is very consistent, that you intentionally become very consistent with. So this way, we know, like, being consistent is one of the things that are very important for success. Okay, So, and when you're talking of being consistent, you're talking of being consistent on good things. All right, on good things. Do not just be consistent in drinking a lot of alcohol. Do not be consistent in waking up late. No, we are talking of create a schedule that you sit down, analyze it, and realize that this particular schedule will take me to my goal. Remember what we talked about in point 4, that you're supposed to set some goals. So, but for you to be or to reach to that particular point or to achieve the goal that you have already written down, what are the things that you need to do? Okay, what do you need to do? Like, what are you supposed to do consistently so that you can reach there? Okay, and become very intentional about it. Like, if you have a plan, like you believe that I'm supposed to be waking up at 4 and I'm supposed to be sleeping. Wait, but also remember that you're supposed to get enough rest. Okay, so make sure that at least umelala 8 hours. You've heard about that rule, yeah? 8. Divide your day into 8, 8, 8. 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours. Like 8 hours of good sleep, 8 hours of being productive, towards your goals, and 8 hours of connecting with your friends, recreation, doing a lot of exercise, working on yourself and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is, have a schedule that is going to lead you to achieve your goals. That way, and if you stay consistent, then of course, absolutely, there is no way that you're going to tell me that you will not achieve it. Because remember what Waswahili wanasema, palipona nia pana njia. Okay, so but if you have that particular intention, then you are going to find your way out and get a way of succeeding in it. Okay. Now, another thing is that you should read stories of successful people. Okay. Read stories of people who have succeeded at being single parents. Okay. Learn how they are doing things. Understand how, listen to them advising other people. Get to understand how this is going to affect you positively. All right? Because knowing this, just that understanding that there's someone who's been ahead of you, someone who has done it, and someone who has succeeded at it is itself a motivation to you. And also reading the stories and understanding how they are doing it is going to empower you to understand how and when and where to do some specific things that at the end of the day are going to make you a better parent. So make sure that the stories that you're reading are very encouraging stories. Do not read stories of people who have failed. And if you're reading a story of someone who has failed, then let it be a story of how learn from their mistakes. All right, learn from their mistakes. No, ni nini alifanya wrong, ndo akajipata at that particular situation. All right. Yeah. Then another thing is, we are on point number 9. Okay, point number 9 is that you have got to listen to good music. So this works for me, by the way. Point number 9 and number 10 I can easily relate with. So number 9 is that you should listen to good music. I'm a person who loves karaoke a lot, sadna. Okay, so but most of the time, even in my house, and my baby, they are used to noise because we are all people who love singing. But my daughter says, "Mommy, I have got to become a musician," and she's recording a lot of audios about her singing, and so we do a lot of karaoke. We sing at the top of our voices, and we listen to good music. So that way, for me, it kind of like makes my environment very happy, joyous, and I feel that I am at the right place. So basically what I'm saying is that I love music. So on this particular one, you can do what makes you happy. Like if you are a person who loves reading, go get a book and read. Okay? Go get a book and read. All right? Yes, so going on to point number 10 that I have been very eagerly waiting to share with you guys. Point number 10 is that you should get started. All right? Now, having a schedule and planning a schedule of things that you love to do so that you can achieve your goal is a whole different thing from now getting started. Because we have had, you realize that one of the most difficult steps towards, achieving your goals is this particular one, getting started. Just get started. All right, and you don't have to feel like you want to get started for you to get started. This is one of the things that we need to teach ourselves. Like, it really goes a long way into teaching you how to get things done, even at your place. All right, so do not wait until you feel that I want to do this for you to do it. All right, you become even more prouder when you do it, when you really don't feel like doing it. You become very proud of yourself and of the things that you've been able to do. So sit down and just get started. I mean, I'm the kind of a person who would start something even before I know it could be a mistake, because sometimes when you're starting something, you've got to think it through. But if I sit down and I realize that what I want to do is for good, it's with good intentions, and that the outcomes are not affecting any other person, trust me, I am gonna start it. Let me figure it out baadaye, okay? But I'll start. So, because if you start, although I wasn't this kind of a person, I was a person who was very hesitant, and until I recently turned 30, and I'm like, wait, I am 30 years old. Wow. And then I sat down and I started thinking, wait, it's just the other day I was 24. What have I been doing with my life? So, guys, if you're watching me today and you're 25, I've got to tell you, get up and get started. All right, plan your life, write down notes, understand what you want to achieve, and just get started. Find where you need to start. Get the things that you require to start. I mean, just get it started, and that way you are gonna hit your goals real, should I say, smoothly? Yes. All right, so let's go to our last point. Our last point, which is also very right. So point number 11. All right, and the last one. The last one is that you have got to seek some assistance, a professional one, and get a therapist. All right, so most of the stories for single parents are stories that really did not end up quite well, and even if you guys left, even if you didn't have any physical fight or anything of that sort, in most cases you need, sometimes some people sink into depression because the particular expectation that you had is was broken, and the hopes that you had planned your life, you knew that you had some future with this person, but all of a sudden that has already ended. So I would really recommend for you to get a therapist to take you through this particular experience, and to take you through that moment of your time, so that you're able to also recover as a person, build again your self-esteem, build again your ability to love other people. So if you find that therapy is what you might need, and although most of the time if you need a therapist, you actually don't know it. You know that, like, you need therapist, but you don't know that you do. But now, depending on the people that you're surrounding yourself with, if you get to hear someone recommending that you should get a therapist, then you should consider, you might want to consider that. All right. Okay, so that has been it for today. I just wanted to take us through some of the ways that has been keeping me as a single parent, and those are tricks and tips that I believe could help you also as a person, as a single mom. As I mentioned, I might be specifically talking to single parents on this particular video, single moms I mean, because I am a single mom, and that is what I can easily relate to. So thank you so much for your time and for watching this particular episode up to this particular point in time. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please do so. I am going to really appreciate it. It's going to help me, and not actually me, it's going to help other people outside there if they're able to get this particular content. All right. But also, if you'd like to have these conversations with us, if you'd like to come up here and talk about your experience as a single parent and what has been working for you, so that you can also share the knowledge with another person, then you can share with me an email at allforsingleparents@gmail.com. All right, send me an email at allforsingleparents@gmail.com, and I'm going to call you up here. Make sure that you drop also your phone number. I'm going to call you. We come here and we talk and understand some of the ways and some of the tricks and tips that can help another person who is undergoing the same situations as we are going through. Sawa. Thank you so much for your time and for watching this particular episode. I really appreciate. Up to next time, I will tell every other single mom there, make sure that you become the winner of your life. Sawa, become the winner of your life. Thank you. Bye.